Damar Hamlin. On January 2nd, 2023, in a Monday Night Football showdown against the Bengals, the sports world watched in horror as 24-year-old Damar Hamlin collapsed after making a routine tackle. His heart had stopped. On live television, trainers rushed in, administering CPR as players wept, knelt, and prayed. For 9 agonizing minutes, his life hung in the balance while millions held their breath. Hamlin was rushed to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in critical condition and placed on a ventilator. Doctors later revealed he had suffered cardiac arrest from blunt trauma to the chest, a rare occurrence. For days, uncertainty reigned. Then came the miracle. He awoke, writing to nurses, "Did we win?" Those 3 words instantly became a symbol of hope across the sports world. By spring 2023, Hamlin had begun training again. Specialists cleared him to resume football, calling his recovery extraordinary. He joined off-season practices, suited up in preseason, and kept grinding, determined not just to live, but to play. In September 2023, he stepped onto the field for his first regular season snaps since the collapse, a comeback moment cheered across the NFL. In 2024, the Bills announced he'd earn his first start since that fateful night. From the edge of death to anchoring a defense once more, Hamlin became more than a player. He became a living reminder that resilience, medicine, and faith can rewrite the most terrifying scripts. His journey asks the question, when life knocks you flat, what's stronger, the fear of the past or the will to keep playing? Alex Smith. On November 18, 2018, in FedEx Field, quarterback Alex Smith drops back, chased down, and crushed to the turf. The replay shows the nightmare. His tibia and fibula snapped gruesomely, bones breaking through skin. He was carted off as silence swallowed the stadium, but what came next was far worse. Post-surgery, Smith developed sepsis and necrotizing fasciitis, a flesh-eating bacteria. Doctors performed 17 surgeries. His life was at risk. Amputation was discussed. For weeks, it wasn't about football. It was about survival. His family stayed at his bedside, bracing for the worst. But Alex Smith refused to quit. He battled through grueling rehab, learning to walk, then jog, then plant and throw. By 2020, he shocked the football world. Cleared to play, he returned under center for Washington. The sight of him taking a hit sent chills through every fan who remembers 2018. That season, Smith led Washington to wins, proving not just that he survived, but that he could still win. He earned NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 2020. His story isn't just about a leg, it's about grit. It's about staring down death, infection, and pain, and asking, why not me? Tedy Bruschi. In February 2005, fresh off his first Pro Bowl appearance, Patriots linebacker Tedy Bruschi felt strange, slurred speech, blurred vision. Doctors confirm, a stroke caused by a hole in his heart. At age 31, a champion linebacker was suddenly fighting for his health. The NFL world braced for his retirement. Bruschi underwent surgery and intense rehab. The conversation wasn't, when will he play again, but will he walk normally? Yet his determination burns. His teammates visit him, and he vows he's not done. 8 months later, on October 30th, 2005, in front of a stunned Foxborough crowd, Bruschi was back in pads. He recorded 10 tackles that night against Buffalo. Doctors cleared him, and he delivered. His comeback was immediate, emotional, and inspiring. He played several more seasons, helping New England maintain its dynasty run. Bruschi's return transformed him into a stroke awareness advocate, demonstrating that survival can lead to leadership. By the way, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Ben Roethlisberger. In June 2006, a warm Pittsburgh morning, Ben Roethlisberger, just 24 and already a Super Bowl champion, revs his motorcycle without a helmet. At an intersection, a car pulls out. The crash was brutal. Roethlisberger's head smashed the windshield, sending him airborne. At the hospital, he was in serious but stable condition. Surgeons repair multiple facial fractures, broken jaws, and teeth. He lost massive amounts of blood. Recovery won't be easy. The quarterback of the future had suddenly come within inches of not having one. Yet weeks later, Roethlisberger was walking. By September, he was practicing. The speed of his return stunned even his teammates. He took the field that fall, battered but determined. Though his play that year was inconsistent, the fact that he was even under center felt miraculous. The near-death wreck changed him forever. He became a living warning about risk, but it also stamps him as someone who could take life's biggest hit and still suit up. Eric Berry. In November 2014, Kansas City Chiefs safety Eric Berry felt chest discomfort during practice. Scans confirmed the worst: Hodgkin lymphoma, a cancer of the lymphatic system. The NFL world was stunned. A Pro Bowl safety was suddenly fighting for his life. Chemo began immediately. Berry lost weight, strength, and hair. Yet his spirit never fades. He trained between treatments, clung to his dream, and vowed to return. His teammates rally, wearing his number, calling him family. By July 2015, he was declared cancer-free. In August, he was back in camp. By September, he was on the field, flying around like nothing happened. By season's end, he's an All-Pro. In December 2015, he was named Comeback Player of the Year. From IV drips to interceptions, Berry rewrote his story. His return wasn't just about football, it was about defying odds, redefining toughness, and proving that courage under treatment can still translate to courage on the field. Ryan Clark. In October 2007, in Mile High Stadium, Steelers safety, Ryan Clark felt severe pain after a game in Denver. Hours later, doctors rushed him to the hospital. His spleen was shutting down. The culprit? His sickle cell trait was reacting to Denver's altitude, causing a dangerous blood crisis. Clark loses his spleen and gallbladder. The complications nearly killed him. Doctors warn another episode could be fatal. Many thought his NFL career was over. Clark himself admitted he wasn't sure he'd ever see the field again. But Ryan Clark wasn't finished. After months of recovery, he returned to the Steelers lineup. He never played in Denver again, but everywhere else. He became a defensive leader, respected for his toughness and perspective on life. In 2008, just 1 year after nearly dying, Clark helped Pittsburgh win Super Bowl 43. His story remains a reminder that sometimes the greatest victory isn't in the box score. It's surviving to play another down. Trent Williams. For years, Trent Williams fought with team doctors over a growth on his scalp. In 2019, a biopsy revealed the truth: dermatofibrosarcoma protuberans, a rare form of cancer. By then, it had grown dangerously close to his brain. Doctors told him bluntly, without surgery, he might not live. Williams underwent multiple operations to remove the tumor. He missed the entire 2019 season. His NFL future and even his life hung in the balance. Fans wondered if they had seen the last of one of the league's best tackles. But Williams fought back. By 2020, he was cleared to return, traded to the San Francisco 49ers, and instantly proved he was still elite. His power and footwork hadn't faded. If anything, his resolve was stronger. In 2021, he earned his first career All-Pro nod and later became the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history. From cancer ward to All-Pro dominance, Trent Williams turned survival into greatness. David Quessenberry. In June 2014, Texans lineman David Quessenberry received devastating news. He had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, an aggressive cancer. His rookie career was halted instantly. Instead of blocking defensive ends, he now battles chemotherapy, radiation, and endless hospital visits. For 3 years, football was on pause. In 2017, doctors declared him in remission, and Quessenberry returned to practice. Teammates call him the definition of resilience. He worked his way back onto rosters, grinding just for a chance to play. On September 29, 2019, wearing a Titans jersey, Quessenberry does the unthinkable. He catches a touchdown pass against Atlanta. The stadium roars, his teammates mob him, and fans know they were watching more than a football play. It was a victory over cancer itself. Quessenberry later found a home with the Vikings, proving that his NFL story wasn't erased by disease. It was rewritten into one of the league's greatest comebacks. J.J. Watt. In September 2022, J.J. Watt, a future Hall of Famer, revealed he experienced atrial fibrillation, a dangerous irregular heartbeat. On Thursday, doctors performed cardioversion, literally shocking his heart back into rhythm. Most athletes would rest, maybe retire, but Watt? On Sunday, just days later, he suited up for the Arizona Cardinals. Fans couldn't believe it. The same man whose heart needed an electrical jolt was chasing quarterbacks before the week was over. After the game, Watt confirmed it himself. Yes, I went into AFib. Yes, my heart was shocked back into rhythm. Yes, I'm playing today. It was raw, real, and showed his relentless willpower. Though Watt retired after the 2022 season, his near-death scare added another layer to his legendary toughness. He proved once again why his name belongs among the greats, not just for sacks, but for sheer heart. Vinnie Curry. In summer 2021, veteran defensive end Vinnie Curry was blindsided by doctors. He has a rare blood disorder. His spleen must be removed. The surgery was successful, but complications arose. Blood clots formed, forcing him onto blood thinners. His season was over. For months, Curry battled just to stabilize his health. Playing football again seemed unlikely. At age 33, many assumed his career had ended quietly, but Curry refused to let his story close that way. By August 2022, doctors cleared him to return. The Jets re-signed him, and he stepped back on the field for the first time in over a year. Though no longer a full-time starter, the fact he was there at all was remarkable. Vinnie Curry's comeback wasn't about stats. It was about resilience. From surgical scars and clotting fears to once again hitting quarterbacks, his journey shows what determination looks like when life and career are both on the line. Nate Solder. In April 2014, during a routine team physical, Patriots left tackle Nate Solder received news no athlete ever expects. He had testicular cancer. At just 26 years old, one of Tom Brady's key protectors was suddenly fighting for his life, instead of fighting off pass rushers. Solder quickly underwent surgery to remove a testicle. The diagnosis was caught early, giving him a chance to return quickly if recovery went smoothly. Still, the shock of hearing cancer rocked both him and his teammates. By the fall, Solder was back on the field, locking down Brady's blind side. He didn't just return, he thrived. That February, he started in Super Bowl 49 against the Seattle Seahawks, helping the Patriots secure one of the most dramatic wins in NFL history. Solder's case showed the power of early detection, decisive treatment, and determination. From the operating room to the biggest stage in football in less than a year, his story remains one of the NFL's most overlooked but inspiring comebacks. Mark Herzlich. In 2009, Boston College star linebacker Mark Herzlich received a crushing diagnosis: Ewing sarcoma, a rare and aggressive bone cancer in his leg. Doctors told him survival rates are low and football completely out of the question. Mark endured grueling chemotherapy and radiation. He lost weight, strength, and almost his career. Yet through the pain, he clung to the idea that one day he'll put pads back on. In 2010, he made the impossible happen, returning to play for Boston College just a year after finishing treatment. The NFL draft doesn't call his name, but the New York Giants do, signing him as an undrafted free agent in 2011. Mark went on to play 6 NFL seasons, appeared in 88 games, and even won a Super Bowl ring. From a 10% survival chance to an NFL career, his comeback is proof that statistics don't always decide the outcome. James Conner. In 2015, the University of Pittsburgh running back James Conner, a local hero, was recovering from a knee injury when doctors delivered another blow. He had Hodgkin lymphoma. At just 20 years old, his football dreams are replaced with chemotherapy schedules. Conner underwent 12 rounds of chemo, losing weight and energy. Yet he trained between treatments, often pushing sleds and lifting weights on days when most patients can barely stand. His fight was as public as it was personal, with the Pittsburgh community rallying around him. In May 2016, a PET scan confirmed remission. That fall, Conner returned to Pitt's lineup, a symbol of determination. In the 2017 NFL Draft, the Steelers kept him home, selecting him in the 3rd round. Conner became a Pro Bowl running back in 2018 and continued to thrive with the Arizona Cardinals. His story is bigger than football. It's about beating cancer, reclaiming his dream, and inspiring millions who watched him go from hospital bed to NFL star. Foster Moreau. In March 2023, tight end Foster Moreau, in the middle of free agency after 4 seasons with the Raiders, took a standard physical with the New Orleans Saints. Instead of a contract, doctors delivered devastating news. He has Hodgkin lymphoma. At just 25 years old, Moreau stepped away from football. He began treatment immediately, and his career was placed on indefinite hold. Fans and players across the league rally behind him, sending support as he faces the toughest opponent of his life. By July 2023, just 4 months later, Moreau announced he was in full remission. The speed of his recovery shocked many, but his determination to fight back was never in doubt. That fall, he suited up for the Saints and took the field again. Moreau's diagnosis turned into a blessing in disguise. Without that physical, the cancer might have gone undetected. His story is a reminder that sometimes football truly does save lives. Mike Patterson. In August 2011, in training camp, Philadelphia Eagles defensive tackle Mike Patterson suddenly collapsed during practice. Teammates rushed to his side as trainers discovered he was having a seizure. Tests reveal a dangerous brain arteriovenous malformation, an abnormal tangle of blood vessels threatening his life. Patterson underwent medication management, but doctors warn he'll eventually need surgery. In January 2012, he went under the knife for a 6-hour brain operation to remove the AVM. For months, his football future was uncertain. By November 2012, Patterson defied expectations. He was activated from the physically unable to perform list and returned to game action, less than a year after major brain surgery. The feat amazed doctors and teammates alike. Though his career wound down shortly after, the fact that Patterson came back at all cemented his story as a medical miracle. From a seizure on the practice field to playing NFL snaps again, he showed courage few could ever imagine. Nick Gates. On September 16, 2021, Thursday Night Football, Giants center Nick Gates was locked in a battle at the line when disaster struck. His legs snapped grotesquely, leaving him writhing in pain. Trainers rushed out, players look away, and the broadcast cuts quickly. The injury was catastrophic, a compound fracture of his tibia and fibula. Gates underwent emergency surgery. Then things get worse. Serious infections set in, forcing multiple follow-up operations. By the time the ordeal ends, he's had 7 surgeries. Doctors warned amputation was a possibility, but Gates refuses to quit. 13 months after that night, he was activated off the PUP list. He stepped back onto the field in October 2022, welcomed with thunderous applause. Few believed he would ever play again, yet here he was, snapping the ball like nothing happened. In 2023, Gates signed with Washington, starting games once more. From near amputation to anchoring NFL lines again, his comeback is one of sheer defiance against pain and probability. Tedy Bridgewater. On August 30, 2016, Vikings quarterback Tedy Bridgewater took a routine drop back in practice and suddenly collapsed. Players screamed for help. Trainers sprint over. Bridgewater's knee has dislocated, tearing multiple ligaments. His teammates were shaken. Some even knelt in prayer. Doctors rushed him into emergency surgery. The damage was so severe that amputation was briefly considered if blood flow couldn't be restored. For months, Bridgewater faced a brutal reality. His promising career might be over before it really began, but Tedy fought back. Hours of rehab turned into months, then years. In December 2017, over 15 months later, he took his first snaps in a regular season game, an emotional return that brought his coaches and teammates to tears. Bridgewater later resurrected his career as a starter with the Saints, Panthers, Broncos, and Lions. His comeback proved that even when a career is on life support, belief and persistence can bring it back. Jason Pierre-Paul. On July 4, 2015, a holiday celebration turned into horror. Giants defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul mishandled fireworks, causing a massive explosion. His right hand was shredded. Doctors amputate his index finger, repair fractured bones, and graft skin. Many thought his career was finished. How could a defensive end dominate without full use of his hand? But JPP wasn't done. He returned to the Giants that very season, wearing a special club-like cast. In 2016, he proved he could still terrorize quarterbacks, racking up sacks and deflections. By 2018, with Tampa Bay, he posted double-digit sacks again. And in 2020, he helped lead the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl victory alongside Tom Brady. From blood loss and surgery tables to confetti falling on his shoulders, Jason Pierre-Paul's career became the ultimate story of adapting, surviving, and thriving. Stedman Bailey. In November 2015, Rams wide receiver Stedman Bailey was sitting in a car in Miami Gardens when gunmen opened fire. He was struck twice in the head. Doctors fought to keep him alive. The fact that he survived at all is labeled miraculous. Bailey underwent brain surgery and months of grueling rehab. His NFL career was derailed instantly. Still, he refused to let the shooting define him. He worked tirelessly to regain strength, mobility, and even trains for a potential comeback. Though he never officially returned to NFL action, Bailey's recovery allowed him to run, coach, and inspire. In 2018, he joined the coaching staff, staying close to the game he loved. His persistence became a symbol of resilience far beyond football. Shot in the head, written off, but still standing, Bailey's journey showed that survival itself can be the greatest victory. Peyton Hillis. In January 2023, former NFL running back Peyton Hillis was vacationing in Pensacola, Florida, when disaster struck. His son and niece were caught in a rip current. Without hesitation, Hillis dove in to save them. He succeeds, but collapses. Rescuers pulled him from the water, unresponsive. He was airlifted to the hospital and placed in the ICU with severe lung and kidney damage. For days, his condition was critical, and fans feared the worst. Weeks later, Hillis wakes, breathing on his own. Doctors call it remarkable. His children are safe because of his heroism, but he nearly gave his life to protect them. By spring 2023, Hillis was back on his feet, calling his recovery 100% a miracle. Once an NFL star and Madden cover athlete, he became a real-life hero, a reminder that sometimes the greatest plays don't happen on the field, but in the fight for family. Did I miss any names you think should be on the list? Please mention them in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to be posting a lot more interesting videos on the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you very much.